Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Topping our news today at noon, one person is dead after an early morning shooting in Northport. Northport police are looking for two men who were wearing ski masks. Police say it happened at about 1:30 this morning at a home on Puerto Chico Avenue. Police believe the suspects may have known the victim.
You know, this type of crime resulting in a homicide, certainly rare for Northport.
Police say the suspects left the area in a silver minivan. If you have any information on the case, call Northport Police immediately. Murder charges are dropped against a Palmetto man. Xavier Seabrooks was charged with second-degree murder in 2016. He was scheduled to stand trial this week, but was released after prosecutors dropped the charge. There's no word yet why those charges were dismissed. A Suncoast man is charged with boat burglaries at two of them at Palmasola Yacht Club in Bradenton. 26-year-old Dylan Gardner was arrested late last night by Manatee County Sheriff's deputies. Investigators say someone noticed movement on his boat and called the sheriff's office. A K-9 unit helped find Gardner, who's now charged with burglary and felony criminal mischief. New details regarding the three men charged with felony animal cruelty after a shark dragging video went viral on social media. Today, the three men all pleading not guilty. If convicted, they face up to 5 years in prison. Another court appearance is set for March 6th. Following up now on last night's teacher protest before a Sarasota County School Board meeting, hundreds of teachers, aides, and other employees lined Tamiami Trail in front of the school district headquarters. They were protesting what they say are some of the lowest salaries in the country for teachers and other school employees. Right now, teacher salaries in Sarasota County range from $44,000 to $64,000 a year or less, depending on the school and level of experience.
We're not paid enough, but the idea that we will just lay down and accept whatever the board decides to give us is not who we are.
The offer that we have on the table is a 3% raise for teachers. I believe the sticking point is how that money is distributed. We believe that that money should go to our highly effective teachers.
It's not known when or even if the issue of pay and raises will be discussed at a future Sarasota County School Board meeting. Top honors for Sarasota County's Pineview School. The School for the Gifted in Osprey is being recognized as the best high school in Florida. A study by 24/7 Wall Street looked at student-to-teacher ratios, standardized test scores, and graduation rates. Pineview has been named #1 in the past as recently as 2016 by U.S. News & World Report's Best High School rankings. Sarasota County middle and high schools are showcasing their special programs and extracurricular activities. Next week, families can find out more about the area's public schools at two events. School officials hope parents will attend to help them find the middle or high school that's the best fit for their children. School representatives will be there to provide information and to answer questions. The first showcase will be next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. at the Northport Conference Center on Career Lane. And the second is set for next Wednesday at 5:30 at the Suncoast Technical College Conference Center on Beneva Road in Sarasota. Troopers say a 70-year-old man hit a Manatee County school bus yesterday morning. That bus was heading north on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. That's when a driver of a Jeep turned into the bus's path and hit its left side. Troopers say 3 students were on board the bus, but no one was hurt. Manatee County's Fort Hamer Bridge named one of North America's top projects by Roads and Bridges magazine. The Bradenton Herald reporting the list rates bridges based on project challenges, impact to the region, and scope of work. Fort Hamer Bridge opened in October. It spans the Manatee River and connects Parrish and Lakewood Ranch and provides another north-south alternative to Interstate 75. I would imagine they saw a little bit of fog on that span this morning.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Roads and Bridges magazine?
Yes.
Must be riveting.
That's what it said. Yeah.
We have, yeah,
I
that's what we just said. What?
I subscribe, yeah.
Oh, you do? You do?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I'll have to borrow your monthly editions. Yeah, it was thick out there this morning in places. You know, it wasn't all that wide. I think we'll probably see the same sort of situation again tomorrow. If we had had more of a westerly wind flow, some of that sea fog would have blown on shore and it would have been even thicker. But it was certainly enough to kind of cause you to ease up off the gas pedal. Dew points are just so high. 66 right now, you know, way up from where they were earlier in the week. 74-degree air temperature. It's going to be a warm, kind of steamy afternoon. A lot of cloud cover out there. East, northeast wind coming in at about 5. So your planner looks like this for 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have that kind of mix of sun and clouds out there. Well, I put 70 there. That should actually be about 77 degrees. And then as we head into the later part of the evening, we'll have that mix of clouds and clear sky, and a slight chance perhaps of a sprinkle or two during the late evening hours in inland areas. But more importantly, that fog will be building again as we head toward dawn. There are two, you can see them there, distinct lines of clouds, one kind of bisecting the state, the other one out in Gulf waters. Those are two little troughs of low pressure, kind of left over from the low pressure area that was spinning in the Gulf waters yesterday. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall potential through the afternoon, but as I mentioned, during the overnight, maybe an isolated sprinkle, but certainly some fog forming. It'll probably be another first alert weather morning tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that and an approaching cold front coming up in just a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Search crews are out again today trying to find people missing in those massive mudslides in Southern California. At least 15 people were killed and more than 24 others injured. And many more are stranded in their homes in Montecito with no electricity or drinkable water. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Burbank with the latest on the ongoing effort to save lives.
A desperate, difficult effort through thick mud.
The mud is so deep.
To find the 24 people still missing in Southern California.
It's my mom, and I'm fighting with all my heart to find her, but like I can't focus too much on she's most likely dead out here.
An emotional and so far unsuccessful search for Robert Riskin's mother in Montecito, who disappeared when heavy rain unleashed massive mudslides.
It sounded like a hurricane or a freight train coming through.
This is the same area still recovering from the Thomas Fire. The largest inferno in California history destroyed vegetation and anything that could stop the flow of this fast-moving mud and debris that's now killed at least 15 people in Santa Barbara County.
We couldn't get out on time.
Multi-million-dollar mansions left buried, so deep in places only the chimneys are visible. Homes ripped from their foundations.
It looked like a World War I battlefield.
Ellen DeGeneres tweeting this image showing the flooded 101 freeway.
This is how deep the mud is.
And Oprah sharing this video of her backyard.
The house in back is gone.
Some signs of hope, the Coast Guard rescuing this family of 5. And today, 14-year-old Lauren Canton recovering in a hospital after being pulled caked in mud from the rubble. Crews still searching today for her father and brother. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Burbank, California.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, carbon monoxide deaths around the country are increasing as temperatures drop. We'll show you how to avoid this silent killer. Governor Scott on the Suncoast today promoting job growth, what the governor had to say about Manatee Technical College when we come back.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to an amazing Suncoast woman that's about to receive one of the most prestigious honors in the circus world.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. Hi, I'm Ray Collins. A groundbreaking ceremony is set for a new medical center in Lakewood Ranch. We'll tell you about the site and what it could mean for the future of Manatee County medicine. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
We're looking potentially at a first alert weather morning again tomorrow due to fog issues, but then a frontal boundary approaches and scours out the moisture.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So this is kind of interesting. This is the Cortez Bridge webcam from just after midnight. And you can look at the second and third light poles down the road there, and it doesn't look too terribly bad. Then watch the fog roll in, and boy, everything just really kind of gets obscured there for a while this morning. And then things kind of clear out with time, and we're left with a little bit more sunshine as we head into the afternoon. But that fog will linger a little bit longer out in the waters than it will over land. So the Futurecast, taking it through time, kind of shows a little bit of that cloud cover, and low-hanging fog cloud cover kind of just lying over the Gulf waters. It's not widespread, but it's out there, that sea fog, and it will linger a little bit longer, so boaters pay attention to that. Otherwise, we're getting into the sunshine over land today, and by 3 o'clock this afternoon, I think there'll be plenty of sunshine around over land, while there's still a little bit of patchy fog out over Gulf waters, but none of it really producing any rainfall, so that's not a big problem. That fog will last through this evening, I think, in places out in the Gulf. And then as we head into the overnight, we'll start to see the fog kind of spread out over land as well. And it'll be another kind of foggy start to the morning tomorrow. And I expect that we'll probably have another similar morning to what we saw this morning. And so we'll probably call for another first alert weather morning tomorrow for your commute. So it'll be a little bit longer commute for you as you leave a little bit earlier, just so you're not pressed for time and you can ease up off that gas pedal and, you know, use those low beam headlights, everything you're supposed to do to stay safe out on our roadways in fog. This is fog season. Then as we head into Thursday afternoon, I think we'll probably start to get a little bit more sunshine through the breaks in the fog and the lifting fog and the clouds, but we'll also start to work in a chance of some showers. And those showers will probably increase in number on Friday as we head especially into the second half of the afternoon, and a line of showers develops out in Gulf waters. Those showers will be gradually drifting closer and closer, and it'll probably be a first alert weather night as we head into Friday, and a frontal boundary gets a little bit closer to the state and moves through. Winds will pick up a little bit, a few scattered showers around, maybe a thunderstorm or two. As that front moves through, winds will whip to the north and some colder air will filter in time for the weekend. Right now, no such cold air around. We're looking at warm temperatures across the entire state. 70s most everywhere across the state, except along the immediate coastlines up in the Panhandle and over around Daytona. Otherwise, we're looking at 72 degrees in Tampa, 75 in Fort Myers, 76 in Mayaca, in Arcadia, 77 in Venice, Sarasota at 75, 75 in Bradenton, 73 in Parrish. Not a lot of rainfall locally, despite the fact that we have that lingering little bit of cloud cover, particularly out over Gulf waters. We do have some showers to the north of us. There's a trough of low pressure located along the eastern seaboard. There's also one kind of meandering out in the Gulf as well. But locally, we're not looking at any kind of real big rainfall potential today. Maybe during the overnight, might get a little bit of patchy drizzle, but that's about it. 75 current air temperature. Dew point is at 66. Winds are calm, but we continue to watch a developing area of low pressure kind of advance toward the state, and a couple of areas of troughiness out in Gulf and Atlantic waters. This first frontal boundary approaches us by Friday night, and that kicks up our wind speeds. It'll eliminate the fog problem probably Friday morning, but it will bring in some cooler weather for the weekend. East-northwest wind shifting at about 5 knots. Not a bad boating day, except for the fact that you've got that fog out there. So 77 today, mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. Tomorrow, 20% chance of showers, fog developing during the morning.
Then on Friday, we start off sunny, cloud up in the afternoon, working that 50% chance of showers, and it gets breezy. High temperatures still warm. The front moves through, and the rest of the weekend and into our Monday holiday looks a lot colder. Back to you.
John, thanks so much. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a silent killer year-round, but more so during the winter months. Mary Maloney explains.
If you lose electricity during severe winter weather, be careful using alternative sources of power for heat. Carbon monoxide could build up in a home, which can be life-threatening. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say at least 430 people die in the U.S. from accidental carbon monoxide poisoning every year, and almost 50,000 visit the emergency room. The colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas fumes can be produced by chimneys, portable generators, stoves, lanterns, gas ranges, or by burning charcoal and wood inside the home. To protect yourself and family, change the batteries in your carbon monoxide detector every 6 months. If you don't have a battery-powered or battery backup detector, buy one. Also, watch out for the most common symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning: headache, dizziness, weakness, nausea, vomiting, chest pain, and confusion. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
The company Peloton is selling a $4,000 high-tech treadmill. The Peloton Tread was unveiled yesterday at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. It comes with an HD touchscreen to stream live fitness classes. Mat and weightlifting exercises can also be incorporated. The company gained popularity after creating a similarly high-tech exercise bike that sold for nearly $2,000. All right, let's get over to the kitchen now and check in for the first time with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy, how are you?
Hi there, Scott, and I'm really glad we live in Sarasota, Florida, so we can power walk the bridge for free. So today, I have a theme that for us locals, we may say, wow, what is she doing? I'm making something that sounds summery, but we live in Florida, so many of us have outdoor kitchens or access to grill outdoors. This is something you can certainly use a griddle pan indoors, but as all our snowbirds start coming back and our friends and relatives are getting away from the Arctic blasts and coming down, what they want is the summery flavors that they can't get. So sure, you can make a beef stew or that spicy Thai soup I had on the other day. This is just a great recipe to have when you have people coming to unthaw from the north. So we're cooking with flank steak, one of my favorite things to use. When I was a child, my mom would pour a bottle of French dressing on flank steak and marinate it and just broil it, and it was actually delicious. Today we're going to make our own rub, be a little creative, and serve it with a bright salsa I think you're all going to enjoy.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the nation first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Get breaking news, plus First Alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Of the circus world, ABC 7's Linda Carson has more from one of those amazing women who made it all happen.
The Español family arrives at the Circus Ring of Fame, where they'll be honored with a plaque celebrating their achievement Saturday. Carolina Español-Knock and her family are still performing. They've been flying high for a long time. Carolina remembers how it all began back in Mexico.
I used to watch my mom. She was a contortionist and she was an aerialist too, and I used to like, you know, and then you feel like, I want to do that, I want to try. But as soon as I went up high, I got scared.
But she practiced hard. When the family got a chance to perform on somebody's trapeze rigging for the first time, they discovered they were good, very good.
My oldest brother, Ramon España, told us, you know, with hard work, we can go places.
There were 3 boys, 3 girls, and their mom and dad. They started in small shows.
My father used to wake us up at 5 in the morning. It was dark. I was like, oh, why we have to do this? It's cold. And another time we were in Europe, like a real dream.
Their fame spread. Ringling came calling. Once in the U.S., their popularity soared. Carolina married Michael Angelo Knock from the famous Knock Circus family.
We meet in Busch Gardens, and I don't know, I guess we fall in love. And I was really happy that I fell in love with a circus performer too.
They performed together even as their son and daughter were born. Now their kids are performers too. Carolina is grateful for her family's success and her exciting life.
And I still go back and remember, oh, look how far we went. And I got to thank my older brother to put in our mind, you know, we're going to work hard and that's going to take us to see other places. And I was like, other places? There's other places?
Her daughter, Angelina, also a circus performer, is here to watch her mom, aunts, and uncles inducted into the Ring of Fame. She is so proud of them.
They came from nothing to have this great honor to be on the circle is just amazing and incredible. I'm so happy for my family.
And Carolina's life lesson?
To keep going, to get up and practice, and I mean, have imagination.
You can meet the España family in person when they're inducted into the Ring of Fame on St. Armand Circle Saturday at 2 p.m. And you can learn more about the family by reading the information that will be on their plaque. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, we're back in the kitchen and we're ready to go. So I have our flank steak. What we want to do now is we want to make a dry rub. While you can buy plenty of different dry rubs, I find it really enjoyable to create different flavors depending on what else I'm serving. So I'm going to start with my dry mushroom rub, and I'm going to mix, that's going to be about 3/4 of the positioning of the seasoning. Always a little paprika. You can either use the sweet or the hot. Because I'm going to use a little ancho chili powder, I don't want it too spicy, a little cayenne, so I'm going to go a little bit light and dark chili powder. And then, of course, we're going to use some salt. Garlic salt is fantastic for this. Or, of course, I love that basil salt over at very coarse at the Spice and Tea Exchange. Now we're going to add some brown sugar. You have to remember, whenever you're grilling, when there's any type of sugar or honey in it, you want to make sure that the grill is not too high because that sugar is going to burn. So now we take our flank steak and we cover it liberally. What you're going to do is you're going to take it right out of the refrigerator, get it out of that packaging, 10 minutes after it's out, bring it so it'll start to come up to room temperature. We're going to do the rub. The rub does not need to be on it more than 15 minutes. Not something you want to do like overnight. Okay, so that's the first step, and we have that done. So let me just wipe the rub off my hands. Now, if you're going to be grilling vegetables with this, awesome. Touch it up with a little seasoning as well. Let's get a little bit of olive oil over here, just a drizzle to add some moisture. Flank steak doesn't have a lot of fat. Now remember, flank steak is tricky because you have to make sure you cut against the grain, and I'll show you how to do that in the next segment. You don't have to worry. So this is going to sit for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it on our griddle pan. That's going to start the process, or of course, like I said, outside on the outdoor grill. If you're going to make this and you're not going to serve it right away, all you have to do is cook it very rare and then wrap it in a little bit of aluminum foil, and that's going to hold the temperature. I have one already done that I cooked in my own barbecue at home, so we'll get to slicing that. When we come back, we're going to make a really nice avocado corn relish with some bright peppers and things, and we're going to talk about romaine lettuce and the issues that are there right now and how to substitute some other greens to make this bright, beautiful dish. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and a flavor of summer is in the air.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Governor Rick Scott visiting Manatee Technical College in Bradenton this morning. The governor announcing the first project from the state's Job Growth Grant Fund, a $200,000 grant to MTC to help buy high-tech equipment and expand the workforce training program in advanced manufacturing and production technology. Scott says his main goal is to increase job growth, and one way to do that is targeting new graduates who are looking to enter the workforce.
This is money we can put out that's going to help through our schools primarily. It's going to help make sure that we get more jobs.
Florida businesses have created nearly 1.5 million jobs across the state since December of 2010. A zip code dispute in South Sarasota County is resolved. 2,200 residents of the West Villages development in Northport sent a petition to the U.S. Postal Service. They want to keep their current Venice zip code and address. City officials wanting the West Villages to change to a Northport address, but this week the Postal Service telling West Villages residents their address and zip code will remain the same for now. The Postal Service noted the petition will be kept on file should a zip code change arise in the future. The South Florida Museum is closing its aquarium for repairs next month, one of the first projects the museum's new aquarium director will oversee. The museum is planning to shut down the aquarium for a couple of weeks in mid-February. The work will address maintenance and safety issues in the tank. FWC, Florida Fish and Wildlife, awarded the museum a $250,000 grant for that work. Bradenton Herald reports the grant will be used to buy new supplies and make repairs, although the museum CEO says the closure is not related to Snooty's death last summer. It will delay the release of the rehab center's 2 manatees that are currently staying there. The Trump administration will not allow oil drilling off the coast of Florida. That's a change of heart for the administration, which just last week announced plans to open the Gulf Coast and parts of the East Coast to oil exploration. Interior Secretary Ryan Zenke crediting Governor Scott for the decision to remove Florida from the drilling proposal.
I don't want your kids ever to fight on foreign shores for a resource we have here, but there's places where resources are sensitive, and there's places where we're not going to go forward with resources, and one of them is off the coast of Florida.
Last week, Governor Scott issued a statement opposing opening Florida waters beyond the nation's outer continental shelf. The initial drilling proposal was widely condemned by state politicians from both parties. A new law would make it illegal to leave kids alone in cars for any length of time. Under current Florida law, kids can be left alone in a car for up to 15 minutes. The Bradenton Herald reporting lawmakers in Tallahassee are hoping to change that. Senate Bill 92 would make it illegal to leave a child unattended in a car or vehicle for any amount of time. If violated, it would be a second-degree misdemeanor. Kind of makes sense when you know how temperatures get so warm here in the summer. A car can get really hot very quickly.
Yeah, even with the windows cracked, it certainly can. Yeah, up to over 120 degrees very quickly, and that's pretty tough on children especially.
Yeah.
We have across our region no problems with excessive heat, but it certainly is going to be warm for this time of year, above average temperatures. A lot of cloud cover out there, but Titan radar not showing a drop of rain around in our neck of the woods, so no worries there. I don't think we have a very big chance of seeing any rainfall around our area, but if you back out the radar and take a look at the other coast, there's plenty of rain to go around over there. It's been kind of a dreary day for the East Coast. With that onshore wind, they're getting showers that are moving onshore and low-hanging clouds, and it's just, you know, not a real Chamber of Commerce day over there. You can see the kind of 2 lines of clouds, 2 areas of low pressure, 2 troughs of low pressure. Both of them kind of influencing our weather still with a little bit of lingering cloud cover. Plus, we have the lifting fog creating its own little bit of cloud cover close to the coastline. We'll go with about 76 degrees by around 3 o'clock this afternoon, as we will have certainly a mix of sun and clouds over land. The clouds might be a little thicker over water. And then this evening around 7 o'clock, partly cloudy skies. And then after midnight, watch for that fog to form, especially after about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And some of it, again, just as it was this morning, could be thick in places and certainly limit visibility down to a quarter mile or less. So watch for that. Could be a first alert weather morning tomorrow. We'll have the complete forecast details for you in just a few.
All right, John, thank you. Remember to get the latest news from the Suncoast. You'll need to download the updated version of our app. We want to remind you once again that iPhone users need to go to the App Store to re-download the app. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast. New fallout over the release of congressional testimony related to that controversial dossier on then-candidate Trump and Russia. A top Trump administration lawyer has filed a lawsuit over that dossier. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Today, the fallout continues over Senator Dianne Feinstein's release of the testimony from the co-founder of Fusion GPS, whose firm commissioned the infamous Trump-Russia dossier.
I think people are entitled to know what was said, and the lawyers also wanted it released. I see no problem with releasing it.
This morning, President Trump calling the Democrat Sneaky Diane, tweeting the fact that she would release testimony in such an underhanded and possibly illegal way, totally without authorization, is a disgrace.
It's very sad what they've done with this fake dossier. It was made up.
The president and several Republicans have dismissed the largely uncorroborated dossier. They've also alleged the dossier is what started the FBI's Russia election meddling probe. But special counsel Robert Mueller is looking into matters well beyond the dossier, and his prosecution so far have made no reference to the document. Fusion GPS was hired by Republicans and later by Democrats to look into candidate Trump's possible ties to Russia. The firm's co-founder, Glenn Simpson, told the Senate Judiciary Committee it's political rhetoric to call the dossier phony. The memos are field reports of real interviews. There's nothing phony about it. The dossier was written by a former British spy, Christopher Steele. Simpson told senators that Steele became alarmed by what he was uncovering and went to the FBI out of concern Trump could be blackmailed. But Simpson claims Steele and the Bureau had a falling out just before Election Day because Steele felt the FBI wasn't taking the findings seriously enough. President Trump's longtime personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, has filed a defamation lawsuit against BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS for their roles in publishing the dossier, which names him. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
1 week after slamming the president and the First Family, former White House senior advisor Steve Bannon is stepping down from his media company. Sources say he angered his conservative base and was forced to step down from Breitbart News. Bannon returned to Breitbart as executive chair over the summer after he left the White House. A California judge throwing an unexpected wrench into the intense political negotiations over the future of the protection of Dreamers. A federal judge blocking the Trump administration's decision to end the Dreamers program, or called DACA, on March 5th. The judge ruling that protections must remain in place while pending legal challenges proceed and ordering the government to resume taking renewal applications. The late-night decision coming hours after the televised meeting between President Trump and bipartisan lawmakers over a potential deal for those Dreamers.
This should be a bipartisan bill. This should be a bill of love. Truly, it should be a bill of love.
Justice Department officials say the ruling does not change its position that the Obama-era program is unlawful, asserting they will continue to defend their position in further litigation. President Trump later tweeting that a border wall with Mexico must be part of any DACA approval. Cuban officials now responding to accusations of a sonic attack on U.S. diplomats in their country. Cuban officials saying they do not have any evidence or much information from the U.S. about these attacks. U.S. officials testified at a Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee hearing yesterday, saying they believe Cuba has information about who is behind what they classified as attacks on U.S. diplomats working on the communist-run island. Now, at a news conference last night, the Director General of U.S. Affairs at the Cuban Foreign Ministry blasted that hearing.
Almost no information that can help the Cuban authorities to advance in the investigation that they are conducting.
The great mystery behind who or what hurt 24 U.S. diplomatic personnel in Cuba still remains unsolved. Special housing units for veterans are becoming more common in prisons and jails as the criminal justice system recognizes the struggles of some of those who served in our military. Nationwide, there are 86 prisons and jails with designated veterans housing in systems from New York to Florida to California. The programs focus on a subset of inmates who are more likely to have reported having mental health issues like post-traumatic stress disorder.
I mean, we send all these young men and women overseas, and when they come back, a lot of them with PTSD or domestic violence, drug issues, whatever the case may be, they end up in our jail. And I just felt that we could have treated them better or done something for them.
Some jails run their programs like boot camps with formations and flag raisings. In Florida, which opened dorms at 5 sites in 2011 to accommodate about 400 men and women, inmates paint patriotic murals and can participate in an honor guard. Back to the kitchen now, where there's some sizzling going on. Let's get back to lunch with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher.
That's right, Scott. So in between the few minutes of breaks, I already have the second flank steak done. It's beautiful. It's so bright and flavorful. I put just a little bit of minced garlic and minced shallots on the griddle pan and then just put it right on top of it. The heat is off. I'm going to pull it in just a minute. Now let's get to what we're going to do for a type of relish. Beautiful bright tomatoes, and you know, we're coming into our own Florida tomato season, which is really exciting. The grape tomatoes are just looking great. And then a little fresh corn, and you do not have to cook the corn. I use the bi-color corn because I think it just tastes really well with the different blends. It's not too sweet. And then we're going to add some diced red pepper. And I'm really excited because Chef Mark from Fins at Sharky's will be on the Suncoast View today at 4. And he left me a little bit of his version of a bright romesco sauce. So that's going to go on the very top of the steak. A little bit of red onion, not too much because the red onions right now are running really strong. Now let's talk about lettuces. You need to avoid romaine lettuce right now because there are people that have gotten very ill from it. They're not sure of the source yet. So spinach is a great substitute, or of course kale, arugula, things like this. I like to serve the steak almost as a steak salad. So let's come over here while the flavors in that avocado corn salsa are marinating. And let's cut the steak. Now look, as I start to cut the flank steak, you have to really watch where the grain goes because you're always cutting against the grain or it's going to be really tough. Now remember when I told you to cook it to a super rare and then you can wrap it in aluminum foil? Well, this is the perfect medium rare now, and that's just from resting it enough, not cutting into it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to layer that flank steak. This is great for tailgating. You want to do a big, big platter and everybody can help themselves to it. It's perfect. Now, one last thing I almost forgot. I love this salad dressing over the Fresh Market. It's the Mexican style Pepita Caesar salad, and I'm going to drizzle this into that salsa, mix it together. When I come back, I'm going to top it off and a little romesco. And let me tell you, all you snowbirds and all you relatives that are coming down from that Arctic blast, you deserve this and a little strawberry shortcake too. We'll be back in a few minutes for a taste.
It's time to go boating, but first, don't miss the 17th annual Charlotte County Boat Show, January 11th to the 14th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. Show admission is free and on-site parking is only $5. January 11th through the 14th. Visit GoBoatingFlorida.com for more information.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
It's time to go boating, but first, don't miss the 17th annual Charlotte County Boat Show, January 11th to the 14th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. Show admission is free and on-site parking is only $5. January 11th through the 14th. Visit GoBoatingFlorida.com for more information.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So this was the view from the Van Wezel webcam this morning, looking over Sarasota Bay just as dawn broke on the Suncoast. It was really a case of a polar bear in a snowstorm, isn't it? And that kind of lingered on until the fog kind of rose, and now you can see off in the distance out in Gulf waters, you can still see some of that fog still lingering and the low-hanging cloud hanging on there. And that's going to be the case, I think, throughout the next hour or two until everything kind of mixes away. It'll probably linger in patches out there till perhaps even the evening hours. Should make for a pretty nice sunset, though. We have a mix of sun and clouds over land, certainly more sunshine than anything else. As we head into the overnight hours, it's possible we could pick up a shower or two around 7 or 8 o'clock, I think, but around 3, 4 o'clock should be just fine. These showers should end by about 8, 9 o'clock, and then we'll see some partly cloudy skies overnight until dawn, when we start to see the fog form once again. And again, like this morning, could be thick in places, limiting visibility to a quarter mile or less, and we'll probably call for a first alert weather warning tomorrow. Fog will then linger and create low-hanging cloud through the early morning hours, and then by the afternoon tomorrow, we could probably see a few showers start to build, particularly in inland areas. But it's really Friday when we have a better chance of seeing some rainfall. We'll see that occur as early as Friday afternoon, I think, but particularly Friday night when a line of showers will be approaching the state. There's not a big chance for thunderstorms with this one, certainly nothing severe. These will be non-severe thunderstorms, but there's a potential for an isolated thunderstorm or two. Most likely it'll be just passing showers coming through Friday night. So we'll put a first alert for Friday night as well, because these showers will also be accompanied by some perhaps gusty winds and certainly some cooler temperatures filtering in after they pass by. We'll watch a few scattered showers continue over on the other coast, but locally I don't think we'll see a whole lot in the way of rain falling. Beach and boating forecast looks pretty good except for that fog out there. Northwest wind coming in at about 5 knots or so, bringing a slight chop to smooth conditions with 2-foot seas. Pretty nice out there, but as I mentioned, that fog could linger in patchy locations. Wednesday today, 77, our daytime high with a mix of sun and clouds over land. More cloud cover, of course, over the Gulf waters. Then tomorrow, chance of some fog forming, 20% chance of rain. That rain chance goes up to 50% on Friday, and then that front moves through and the temperatures turn cold. Could be a high of about 59 on Sunday. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. What was supposed to be a ski getaway for many tourists in Switzerland turned into a nightmare. Snow causing hazardous conditions, trapping people at a resort there. ABC's Molly Hunter has more.
13,000 tourists have been trapped in a swanky Swiss ski resort. It snowed too much, and now people who came in search of fun on the slopes can't get out.
We're very well, very cold, looking forward to getting back down the mountain.
Helicopters spent hours airlifting people to nearby villages, and others remain stuck for a second day. Long lines on the tarmac, water bottles distributed, and luggage flown to lower ground.
So we're very happy to leave now. It was too unpredictable to get the train.
The heavy snow blocked roads and rail links, officials now warning of dangerous avalanches. And given the risk, stranded tourists are not being allowed on the slopes. As a spokesperson for the resort said, it's not possible to go skiing, but that's okay. It's a bit romantic and there's no panic. The tourist board added that everyone is pretty relaxed and people are having fun.
Having some fun, eating some cheese, and probably drinking some wine at the base of the Matterhorn. Later today, that main rail line between Zermatt and down into the valley is set to reopen. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
In consumer news today, Dunkin' Donuts is hatching a plan to help you avoid cheating on your diet. Their goal is to open 9,000 new stores in the U.S., and they plan to scale down and refine their overall concept and be more appealing to those looking for healthier options on the go. The brand CEO has yet to give a time frame for launching these new stores. Ford and Domino's, however, partnering up to make that diet a little harder. Ford and Domino's Pizza unveiling a specially equipped Ford Fusion at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. It comes with self-driving technology and an oven. Basically, the car has become a pizza ATM. Customers will enter a number on the touchpad near the back window. The window will then lower, revealing the pizza. Ford and Domino's have been testing out the self-driving delivery cars in Michigan for months now. The CEO of Amazon is now the richest person in history, dethroning former record holder Bill Gates. According to Bloomberg's billionaire tracker, Jeff Bezos' net worth reached just over $105 billion this week. Most of Bezos' wealth, of course, comes from his Amazon holdings, tying his net worth to market fluctuations. For example, he made roughly $1.4 billion in gains on Monday when Amazon stock climbed nearly 1.5%. Today is National Cut Your Energy Costs Day, a day to remind you to take a look around your home for places where you could save some money. You'll save the most, of course, by getting your heating and air conditioning under control. First, think about investing in a programmable thermostat. It can help you keep your home feeling cool or warm, whatever time of year it is. Next, take a look at your appliances. Older appliances are not energy efficient, and replacing them with newer models could save you more over time. And then double check your windows and door seals. In the summer, cool air can easily escape through poorly installed windows and doors. Still to come in your Suncoast News, American Idol coming back to ABC with a couple of changes. I have more on those audition process and what's going to change this time.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it? Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions. Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jaffe Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
This looks absolutely fabulous, and I'll tell you what, the meat looks fantastic.
You know, flank steak is, it's actually kind of pricey nowadays, but it was so underutilized other than by chefs, you know, and my mom really liked it. I like the flavor of it. You can do fajitas, so many different things. This would be fun, this balance wrapped in a fajita, but just as it is, with that brightness as the pepito Caesar salad mixed in, it's just going to be perfect for all our northern friends that are headed south to unthaw.
Delicious. Website, the information is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go check it out. Hit the dining link button. It'll take you right there. Thanks, Judy. This is really good.
Scott, I have some for you too. Don't worry.
All right, Judy, thanks so much. American Idol is coming to ABC. New judge Katy Perry says the goal now is to get back to making more stars. The show will no longer feature the failure auditions. You can watch American Idol when it comes back right here on ABC 7, beginning on March 11th. Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown is taking on more mysteries. The Emmy-nominated teen is set to produce and star in a feature film series based on the acclaimed Nancy Springer novels about Enola Holmes, the much younger sister of Sherlock Holmes. She's terrific in Stranger Things. I don't think, John, you've watched it because you're not into the sort of sci-fi thing.
No, I have not seen it.
But she's amazing.
So talented. Now she's going to be producing at such a young age.
Yeah.
Bright future.
Pretty incredible. Have a great day. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live. I live. She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?